Is crime plummeting in America? We're going to look at violent incidences across America, whether they're up or down. Well, David, you can't make this shit up. Crime analysis Jeff Asher reports a significant decline in homicides across major U.S. cities, hinting at a return to pre-pandemic levels, challenging public perception of rising crime. Let's go.
So it's election time. We all know that. And just like with the perception that the economy is doing good or doing bad, the perception of the crime rates here in America, the reality based on the statistics say one thing. However, the reality based in our minds says another. If I'm watching YouTube or the evening news, it's dangerous out there. I'm always hearing about how dangerous it's in, San Francisco, LA, New York, Chicago, Orlando, Miami, so forth and so on. However, based on this article and the analysis by Jeff Asher, violent crime is down, homicide is down. And so it's hard for Americans to kind of wrap their brain around what the stats are saying versus what they believe, what their perception is of what's happening in their cities.
Oh, it's similar to, you know, there are more car crashes than plane crashes, but more people concentrated die in a plane crash all at once, right?
Correct.
So our fear, our fear is more. We're more afraid of dying in a plane, even though we have less likelihood of dying in a plane. So again, this is where we're taking an analysis, and we're not judging what the public is feeling. We're not getting this message out. Again, it's messaging. If crime is down, show us.
Mhm.
But it's not going to be showed to you, because what's going to happen is the media loves to get your attention. And crime, like violent crime, is what they're putting on television first, because they know it's going to catch your attention. Just like traffic jams. We have traffic jams every day. Why? Because we're so busy, we got to get to work. But we got to see that accident on the side of the road. Even though it's a car with a flat tire, you could stop everything. There's nothing going on, guys. The car has a flat tire.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be stared at? I mean, David, again, it's nice to know that violent crime is coming down. It's nice to hear it. But how do you message it where you can feel it? Because that's not happening. Families are not feeling secure right now, and they're not feeling economically secure right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the numbers for the economy are soaring,
Mm-hmm.
and the numbers on violent crime are down.
Right.
So how do we message? And for me, it's fine, because keep it up, guys, because this is not helping Biden administration. But honestly, how do we get to know? Is it something locally that we should be talking about, or is it
Yes.
something, because our attention's on the nation, that we don't know that?
Right. I was just thinking that as far as messaging, it has to be at the local level. So if I'm running for office, I'm going to say if that particular office has some control over, the sheriff's budget or crime prevention, I'm going to talk to what we can do to better our situation. At a national level, that's going to be pretty difficult because you're speaking at a much higher level that covers such a broad demographic that it's difficult to get into specifics. But at the local level, there's a way to say, hey, okay, there are hotspots. And this is how we're going to address it. And these are the tools and resources that we are going to address it. What we have done in the past is not working. Here's the data to show it. What we've done in the past is working. This is why we should support it. Here's the data to show it. So we have to we need individuals in government currently, and individuals who are running to represent our communities to effectively communicate what actually is going on. It's part of being transparent.
Okay, so I live in Seminole County, and I think our sheriff does a really good job. This is not something I think of every day. But if I lived in Orlando, in Orange County, I would, because I know when Sheriff
Mina?
when Sheriff Mina took over, there was a spike. So there was a spike in you know crime with weapons, and more gunfire in Orlando, excuse me, Orange County. But I haven't heard him out front on this. Is these stats with him, right? I think for me as a voter, I'm not thinking that up in Seminole. I'm thinking my sheriff is doing a great job. He's dealing with the fentanyl problem. These are the
Mhm.
things that my sheriff is talking about. What is he doing? He's trying to make sure that there's inside our jails, because he's in charge of the jails. He's making sure that we have you know programs so that we don't have repeat offenders. I'm not hearing the same thing from Orange County, and yet I get Orange County news all the time. So when this article comes up, I read it. Do I really? Do I believe it?
Right.
See, it's not. It's not. I don't feel it. It's not affecting me, but it's affecting me nationally, because I see all these times that we have had to talk about guns, and I keep telling, David knows every time. I'm like, David, can we do a different subject? Because like, I'm a big Second Amendment guy, but I'm just tired of it, because there's more going on than just gun violence, and this proves it, David. See,
Right.
David, gun violence is down.
Uh, Good point. And I get it. Yeah, I do. I watch certain influencers on YouTube. I pretty much have checked out of regular network news, and there's independent resources that I read and listen to on the internet. And sometimes I'll get a particular
I'm going to tell you,
part of my
Beth.
feed that it's always like, oh, Chicago's so bad, Chicago's so bad. It's like, are you kidding me? Enough already. And again, it's what you're listening to and what you're watching that creates the perception. I know better because I know exactly when I do see or hear about a specific shooting or a
Mm.
homicide or whatever in a certain place in Chicago. I know where that is, and I know if I went back, that's not somewhere I would regularly hang out, unless it was part of my job, or that's not where my family lives or whatever.
Mm.
So again, it's the perception that people um, perceive. Let me take that back. It's what they perceive on the information that's given to them. I think we have to be able to find it in our
Mm.
lives, in our very, very busy lives, to when we're open to learning more about a particular issue or a candidate or whatever, that we're open to learning more.
That's all right. Your Beth, he does. He watches you on Channel 13 all the time.
Yes.
Stephanie, your
Yes.
job over in Fox. We're paying attention. We're just not paying
Yes.
attention to those major names like on CNN and
That's correct.
Fox.
That's
Okay,
all you been
just
through.
want to make sure that our locals know that we really do. Listen, we get our information locally. We try to keep you informed locally. So, David, it's true. This is a message again. What is it with us? Like, as political innovators, the one thing that we keep noticing on a lot of our shows is the messaging.
Hmm.
Sit down and start looking at how you message people. I think the problem is we don't take time to use the research and translate it into feeling. We don't want your feelings, we want your facts, but
Hmm.
you got to make your facts touch those feelings, because that's what's going to make people do stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, so When we say bring your facts, not your feelings, it's because we already know your feelings. We want your facts so that we can help take those feelings and energize them in the right place. As a conservative, you should be voting for less government. You should be voting for more money in your pocket. These are the things I'm going to try to get to you, right? I know how you feel. I know you feel that the economy is not good. I know how you feel about these issues. But let me take your facts so I can translate them so that we know where you're best fit in your society. Vote the bottom of the ticket up. We're going to bring these people to you. We're bringing you people running for supervisor of elections. We're bringing these people to you so that you can learn from them. And I think this is a great opportunity to talk about how this is numbers and numbers don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
And we now have to translate them into it's not as dangerous out there as you think it is. And what we need to be dealing with is we need to be dealing with issues where permitting. We need to be holding our government accountable. Hey, if you're a homeowner and you live in you have a homeowners association, how much power does your homeowners association have? You know, what are you doing about that? Uh, who's who's running for what? Look, I just went through the supervisor of elections website, and David, it's my daily job I'm supposed to do, but I kind of didn't analyze it as much as I did yesterday.
Mm.
How many of our politicians have nobody running against them? Have we just gotten to the point where we don't care?
It's frightening,
And that's what scares me.
right?
If we don't care, we're going to get the same results.
It's frightening in regards to the number of candidates who have filed so far and the lack of number of candidates who have filed so far. I'm kind of concerned that people are checked out. And that's part of the messaging problem also. I think the sensationalism of the Trump saga, the trials and things like that are burning people out. And what they're really missing is the analysis of what's what's going to matter in November, what's going to matter in August. We've got qualifying here in Florida for judicial candidates ending in the tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And we have two Supreme Court justices who are up for retention, two Supreme Court justices here in Florida who voted to um, voted to retain the 15-week ban on abortion, thus triggering the 6-week ban. I bet you many voters, whether it's Democrat, NPA, non-party affiliate, or Democrat, are aware of the fact that there's an opportunity to change the Supreme Court, or at least give it more balance, because two Supreme Court justices are up for retention.
You want me to take your wind out of your sails?
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, because I know what you're saying. But you do know that the person that's going to replace him is a conservative. So
exactly,
you might be able to get them out,
yep.
but
Exactly.
they're going to be replaced with just even more conservative people.
Exactly.
So when you do go and you look at retention, those are the things you look at. When the governor's race is up, that's when I think that those people that aren't paying attention should be paying attention. And Republicans, guess what? I agree with what David's saying. If you don't like what their decisions are, hey, maybe you're upset because they let this thing get on the marijuana and abortion access to get on the ballot. But whatever your reasoning is, the only reason they're retained all the time is because you don't care, and that's what we want you to do. We want you to care. And even though I took his wins out of his sail, he knew what I was going to say.
I knew where he was going with it because it's true.
Because it's true. But
it's true.
Those are the things you need to know. Are you going to vote Democrat? Are you going to vote Republican? What if I am going to vote a Democrat? Do I want to, unretain these individuals because I'll give my opportunity for my new governor to do this X, Y, and Z? Those are the way we want you to think. We want you to think, who is running for judge? How many judges are running unopposed? I mean, these are the things. Hey, maybe the governor put a judge in to your area, and he's conservative, and you live in a very predominantly liberal area. What's that judge doing for you? He's not doing what you want him to. You have those opportunities. So, that said, crime is down, numbers matter, but it's about messaging, and we want you to hear us loud and clear. Like, share, please get a subscription. Tell us what you think. Again, bring your facts. We already know your feelings.
I'm with Joel on that. Messaging is very important, and no one really cares about where you stand personally on a particular issue until you're able to communicate it effectively to the audience that you're talking to. And so that means you have to craft your message in a way that hits the heart, hits the mind, hits the soul, and we're good at doing that. And we understand the importance of messaging. We're your political innovators here at Jay in Washington. It's what we do. We know what we're doing, and we want to help bring good people with good ideas to represent their communities.
No, agree. Can't make this shit up.
You can't.